Om Shanti. This is the Avyakt Murli of the 7th of May 2023. Original date 26th of November 1994. Title: The practical form of godly sustenance and the power of transformation is an easy yogi life. Today, Bap Dada is especially seeing the 3 lines of the 3 special types of elevated fortune on the forehead of each child. The fortune of each child is constantly most elevated anyway, but the 3 lines are especially sparkling today. One is the line of fortune of godly sustenance. The second is the line of fortune of this most elevated study. The third is the line of fortune of attaining the most elevated directions. In this life, whether Lokik or Alokik, you all have these 3 attainments in your life. You receive sustenance, teachings, and also directions. Through these 3, each of you souls becomes an instrument to create your own present and future. From whom are you elevated souls receiving sustenance? You are being sustained with godly sustenance at every second. Just as God is the highest on high, so too godly sustenance is just as elevated. Who has become worthy of this godly sustenance, and how many have become worthy of it? The souls of the whole world say, Father, but they do not become worthy of this sustenance or study. Whereas you few souls have become worthy of this fortune. You receive this godly sustenance in each cycle only for this short time. Divine sustenance and human sustenance are received for many births, but this elevated sustenance cannot ever be received again if it is not received now. Do you constantly experience the elevated line of such elevated fortune sparkling on your forehead? Do you wish to attain something for all time or for only some time? So, should the effort for the attainment be all the time or only sometimes? Should it be constantly intense, or should it sometimes be ordinary and sometimes intense? What is the practical situation? There is a difference between what you desire and what happens practically, is there not? In fact, you think about something a lot, but you do not maintain your awareness as much as you should. Do you have to become an embodiment of thinking, Sochna Swarup, someone who just constantly keeps thinking, or an embodiment of awareness, Smruti Swarup? You are those who are going to become embodiments of awareness, are you not? So keep one thing in your awareness. Who wakes you up at Amrit Vela? The Father's love awakens you. The beginning of the day is so elevated, and the Father himself calls you to celebrate a meeting. He has a heart-to-heart conversation with you and fills you with power. So the beginning of every day is so elevated. Do you wake up with the Father's love, Or do you sometimes wake up just out of compulsion? In reality, it is the songs of love that awaken you. From Amrit Vela, the Father calls you and awakens you with so much love. Sweet children, lovely children, come. He awakens you and calls you with so much love. So imagine what the middle and end would be of someone who has such an elevated beginning. It would be elevated, would it not? Bap Dada was seeing to what extent you children have attained the fortune of sustenance of the present time. So, do you take as much benefit as you have attainments? In your dreams too, you never thought that you would be worthy of such fortune. It was beyond your thoughts, and yet you attained it so easily. The practical form of the Father's sustenance of love is an easy yogi life. Whoever you have love for, you cannot bear to see or hear of that one in a difficult situation or going through something difficult. So the Father also made everything difficult easy, did he not? It is constantly easy. So constantly let the speed of your efforts be intense. If today your effort is very good, whereas tomorrow the percentage reduces slightly, would you call that constantly easy? Then who makes it difficult all the time? You yourself make it difficult, do you not? So what is the reason? You have the habit of thinking, and you sometimes keep the sanskars of an embodiment of awareness emerged and sometimes merged. So, an embodiment of awareness is an embodiment of power. An embodiment of thinking is not an embodiment of power. Awareness is power. So why do you become forgetful? You are compelled by your habits. If you are not strong, Majboot, you would then be compelled, Majboor. When you are strong, there will be no compulsion, since your original habit is not that of forgetfulness. In the beginning, you are deity souls who attain the reward of being embodiments of awareness. You do not make effort to have remembrance, but you attain the reward of being embodiments of awareness. So you have the practical lives of being embodiments of awareness in the beginning, and when you, the eternal souls, come down from the supreme abode, the sanskars of you special souls are then automatically those of embodiments of awareness. At the end, at the confluence age too, you become embodiments of awareness, do you not? So eternally, in the beginning and at the end, during all three aspects of time, you are embodiments of awareness. Forgetfulness is the middle. It came in the middle. So, should the original and eternal form be easy, or should the middle form be easy? You are thinking about this. Yes, I am a soul. But there is a difference between that and in conducting yourself, in seeing and speaking as an embodiment of that awareness. Therefore, have the awareness of being the souls who have a right to godly sustenance. When Bap Dada checks your charts, sometimes the line is high and sometimes low. Sometimes there is a mark and sometimes it is straight. Sometimes there is no mark stain on the paper of your life, but at other times there is nothing but marks. One after another, the second and then the third. All you see are marks. Why? You make a mistake, but then even after making a mistake, you continue to think about it. Why, what, how? It should not be like this. It should be like this. You do not leave the situation alone in any way. The situation leaves you and goes away, but you do not let go of the situation. Then, for as long as you become an embodiment of those thoughts, you do not become an embodiment of awareness accurately, and the marks begin to accumulate, one after another. The duration of the paper is very short, but because of having the sanskars of having wasteful thoughts, you increase the duration of the paper. As soon as that second passes by, let your stage become completely free from any wasteful thoughts. Now let this sanskar emerge. Do you know how to become free from sinful thoughts? By keeping your elevated fortune in your awareness, you will remain constantly cheerful. Constantly bring your godly sustenance into your awareness. You know how to listen, you know how to think, but what is the difference? Bap Dada continues to see the games of the children. Do you check at night the games that you played throughout the day? The toys of Maya are very attractive. You begin to play with the toys of Maya. At first, Maya plays with you with a lot of love. Then, after she has defeated you in playing games, you become conscious again. The majority of you especially have one weakness in one particular power. You move along very well. Sometimes you walk and sometimes you fly. You continue to move forward, but whilst flying, why do you come down? What is the main reason for this? There is weakness in the power of transformation. You understand when something is not accurate, but although you do understand it, you lack the ability to bring about that transformation. You have brought about transformation in your Brahmin life, and so would any of you say that you are not a Brahmin? What do you all write your name as? You write BK, do you not? You consider yourselves to be Brahmins, do you not? The power of transformation is essential for the tests that come in Brahmin life. When you have wasteful thoughts, you understand that they are wasteful, but just as there is great force in a river or an ocean, so the flow of wasteful thoughts is so fast that they pull you. No matter how much you try to stop them, they still continue to flow. You understand, and you also think that it is not right. You understand that it causes a lot of loss, but you still continue to flow with them. What is the reason for this? A lack of the power of transformation. The first special transformation is the transformation of your form. Look at the first transformation of your form. I am not a body, but a soul. This is the first transformation of your form. Check this. When there is the force of body consciousness, are you able to stabilize yourself in soul consciousness, or do you flow away? If the power of transformation were to be used in a second, so much of your time and thoughts would be saved. From being wasted, they would be accumulated in the best way. The first transformational powers are of your form and your nature. The old nature deceives you in your effort-making life. You even understand that your nature is not right and that it deceives you from time to time. You understand this, but nevertheless, you come under the influence of your nature. Then, in order to justify yourself, you say, "That was not my intention. My nature is like that. I did not wish it, but my nature is like that." Your birth has changed. You became Brahmins, and so your birth has changed, has it not? Your relationships changed. Your father changed. Your mother changed. Your family changed, but your nature has not changed. What royal words do you then use? My nature is like that. So the first weakness is in the transformation of your form. The second is in the transformation of your nature. The third is in the transformation of your thoughts. Transform the wasteful into powerful within a second. Many think that it was just a storm of half an hour, that it did not last long, only half an hour. It only lasted 15 minutes. However, whether it was half an hour or 15 minutes, a weakness for 15 minutes or half an hour creates a sanskar. When someone becomes physically weak again and again, he becomes weak for all time. So 15 minutes is not a small matter. Each second of the confluence age is equal to many years. So do not become careless in this way. It did not last for long. But how much did you lose? When you speak of multi-millions in one step, how many steps could you take in 15 minutes? And how many multi-millions would you lose? You keep a very good account of your accumulation and think that you have accumulated multi-millions in every step. So you should also keep an account of your losses and what you are losing. However, the sanskars pull you even against your conscious wish. Whatever repeatedly happens will take on the form of a sanskar. So transform your sanskars. Do not just think about it. I should not do this. What can I do? Do not say, what can I do? Think and do it practically. You say that you have to put a full stop to the past. You give this knowledge to one another, do you not? When anyone comes and tells you anything that has happened, you say, "It's all right, just put a full stop." However, do you put a full stop? In order to put a full stop, what power do you need? The power of transformation. Those who have the power of transformation are constantly pure, gentle and humble. Bapdada also told you earlier that those who are able to mould themselves are real gold. The sign of those who are real gold is that they are able to mould themselves. So, check whether you are able to use the power of transformation at a time of need, or whether you continue to think about it after that time of need. You need to increase the power of transformation. Those who have the power of transformation are loved by everyone. They will be easy in their thoughts. As you move forward, you remain engaged in doing service, do you not? What form does an obstacle take even in service? My idea, my plan, my service is so good, and yet why was my idea not accepted? Would such a person be called real gold? When there is the consciousness of mine, it means that alloy is mixed with it. So when alloy is mixed into real gold, does it remain real gold anymore? Does it have any value? There is then so much difference. In this too, you have to consider the time and the atmosphere. It is easy to bring about transformation in big matters, but you have to understand the time and the atmosphere in every situation, in every relationship, and in every connection, and then bring about transformation in yourself. This is what it means to become number one. Do not think, this one should also understand. This one should also transform himself. Why should I be the only one to transform myself? Those who take the initiative are Arjuna. If you transform yourself in this, then this transformation is a sign of being victorious. Do you understand? Acha. To all the souls everywhere who are embodiments of awareness, to the elevated souls who bring about self-transformation in a second with the power of transformation, to the experienced souls who constantly experience yoga to be easy, to the elevated souls who constantly maintain the zeal and enthusiasm of being close to and becoming the same as the Father, to all souls, Bapdada's love, remembrance and namaste. Teachers. All the teachers are constantly embodiments of knowledge and embodiments of remembrance. Just as the Father comes as the teacher, so you too are instrument teachers the same as the Father. You are not like the Father, but you are instrument teachers. So the speciality of teachers is that they have the feeling of being an instrument and of being humble. A successful teacher is one who has a pure and clean nature. Now, especially underline having a pure and clean nature. No matter what happens, let your nature always be pure and clean. This pure and clean nature is a sign of humility. So now underline a pure and clean nature. Completely cool. The praise of coolness is remembered in the form of the goddess of coolness. To have a pure and clean nature means to have a cool nature. The situation may be one that has force, but if you remain pure and cool, you would then be called a successful teacher. So, what is Bapdada making you underline even now? A pure and clean nature. Do you understand? Acha. Question. What is the greatest treasure of all with which knowledge and yoga can be revealed? Answer. The greatest treasure is happiness. No matter how much knowledge and yoga you have, if you haven't achieved happiness, then the knowledge is not right. No matter what circumstances come, your happiness must not disappear. You have received this imperishable treasure from the Eternal Father, and your happiness can therefore never disappear. If you have yoga but are not happy, then your yoga is not right. When others see your happiness, let them ask you what you have received. This is the way to reveal knowledge and yoga. Question. With what love can your obstacles be easily finished? Answer. One Father and none other. Remain absorbed in this love, and no obstacles can then remain. When there are obstacles, there is no love. Let obstacles come, but they must not influence you. When you become an influential soul, nothing can influence you. No matter how much someone tries to hide the sun, it cannot be hidden. It constantly continues to shine. In the same way, nothing can influence or pull influential souls to it. Constantly belong to the one Father and none other, and stay absorbed in this love. This is the special experience of the confluent sage. Blessing. May you be eternally loving and experience the flying stage with the lift of love. In order to be liberated from having to work hard, be loving to the Father. This eternal love becomes an imperishable lift and gives you the experience of the flying stage. However, if there is carelessness in your love, you cannot receive a current from the Father, and this lift will not work. Just as when the light and connection stops, you cannot have happiness from the lift. In the same way, when there is little love, you experience having to work hard. Therefore, be eternally loving. Slogan. Continue to fly at a fast speed in the vehicle of pure thoughts and a divine intellect. Om Shanti.